Okay, so we are looking at examples of data. We've got qualitative, so something that describes the quality of something. Did anybody have anything that they wrote down here that they want to share? Are we going to be quiet? Today I wrote down colors. We could do sports positions on a team. Anything else? We could do cars, like the type of a car. Okay, anything that's going to describe the quality of something and is not counted. Names, that would work. When we're talking about discrete, so quantitative discrete, we are counting something. So remember, your key word for that one is number of. So we could say number of siblings, number of pets. Give me another one. Students. Okay, and then another thing for quantitative discrete would be anything that has to deal with money. So we could do salaries or home prices, things like that. And then quantitative continuous is going to be something that is numeric and measured. So I have a lot of stuff here. I've got gallons, temperature, we've got weight, anyone think of anything else we can measure? Blood pressure. Ooh, I like that one. Blood pressure. It's a good one. I like this because as a former athlete, it's a good way to classify race times. Okay, things like that. So some of the questions you'll see will just be kind of, if you haven't already started your homework, you're just classifying which of the three categories things are falling into. All right, now for this one, I'm going to show you guys how to do this in your calculator. So if you have your calculator, get that out. Going to make this just a little bit smaller so we can see the whole thing. Okay. This is a small list. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points on each column. So really, it's going to be faster if you do this by hand. Okay, but I do want to show you the process for using your calculator, using lists to work things. Now, it might be a little bit different if you have the 84 or 84 plus. Okay, but the commands are still essentially the same. So you're going to use the list function, which right here, if you see that where my mouse is, it says stat, and then in yellow above it, it says list. Okay. So what we first want to do is we want to enter these lists in. So you're going to hit the stat button, and you're going to go to edit, hit enter. There's already stuff in my list here. Actually, these lists are already in. If you already have something there, hit your scroll button to the top where L1 is highlighted and just hit clear and then enter. So I'm just going to do that and clear my list out. And then you're going to enter these lists. So this is L1, so that's list 1. I'm going to put my X values in list 1. So just remember where you put X and where you put Y. And then go ahead and enter these values in. So I'm going to hit enter in between. So I'm going to go 3, enter, 7, enter, 5, 9, 12, 8, and 10. Okay, then I'm going to scroll over to the right. And now it should be an L2, and that's where I'm going to put my Y's. So I'm going to put 28.4, 17.2, 21.6, 13.9, 6.3, 16.8, 9.4. Okay, so I have my lists entered. So now what I want to do is go back to my home screen. So anytime I want to go back to my home screen, above right where the second button is, in the yellow, you see quit. So I'm just going to go second quit. That'll take me back to my home screen every time. Now what I want to do is, we're going to start with our calculations. So I want the sum command. That's going to be if you go to second stat, so you go to the list, and you scroll over to math. Okay, so it's second, where the stat button is above that, so list. Okay, and then scroll over to math, and look at these commands you have. You have min, so that'll give you the minimum value. Let's say you have a really long list, and you want to find the minimum in there. Max, you've got mean, median, you've got the sum. Okay, so we want sum, so that's number 5. So you can either scroll down and hit enter to select number 5, or you can just hit the number 5. So you want the sum of x, and you put x in list 1. So I want to put list 1. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. Above the 1, you should have L1 in yellow. So you could do second 1. Or you can just hit the second stat list, and then just, here's the names, enter for L1. So either one would work. So the sum of L1 would be 54. So my first answer there would be 54. Okay, then you want to do the sum of y. We put y in L2. So you would do the same thing, except now you're doing L2. So you would go second, list, scroll to math, number 5. And we want the sum of L2. L2 is above the 2. Okay, so if you go second 2, list 2, 113.6. Then we've got C, the sum of x squared. Okay, so we would go second, list, then math, sum. And then I want x squared, so I'm going to go second, L1, so second 1, and then I'm going to square that. And then I'm going to close the parentheses, or you can leave it open. Okay, just notice that that doesn't have a parentheses around the sum of x. So that should be 472. And then let's see, sum of x, y. So that's the sum of x times y. So we'd multiply each of these and then add them. Calculator will do that for you. So you're going to go again, second list, over to math, number 5. And then you're just going to do L1, L2. So second 1, second 2. You can put a time sign in between there if you want, but you do not have to. 742.7. Then we have sum of x squared y. So all you're doing there, you replace the x with an L1, and then replace the y with L2. So second list, again, we're going to sum, so math, sum. Then I have L1, so second 1, and then squared, and then L2, second 2. So sum of x squared, y. And then I get 5,686.7. And then f is the sum of y squared. We already know y, the sum of y was 113.6. So you could just do that, 113.6 squared. Okay, or you could do second list math, sum, y is L2, so second 2, and then you would close that and then square it. So either one of those would work. So I'm just going to go and write these on this document so that it saves. So we had, let's see, 54, 113.6, 472, 742.7, 5686.7 and 12,904.96. Does anyone have any questions on that? All right, good.